Hello everyone, welcome to the discussion video. So this session is going to be the discussion of the today's contest. I hope you gave the contest in a good way and it tells it you learn something from it. We'll be discussing about these two questions today about how to solve the problem. Both were about easy to medium questions. We will see the approaches, the time complexities of it. So we'll start one by one, starting from the very first question. It was about missing element in array. So I'll just click OK. And so here you are given an array of size. You're given an array of size n minus one. In the array, you have to scan n minus one elements, and you have to return the one element which might not present from the permutations. Okay, so you're given that um, permutation number from 1 to n. Okay, so but one number is missing from that n minus 1 series. For example, if n elements are there, right? For example, 5 elements are there. So you're given an array of 4 elements, and 4 elements are exactly placed in the array, and you have to find the element which is not present in the array, right? So yeah, so like for example, what would be the input? So you have to first scan the n, then create an array of n minus 1, then you have to scan n minus 1 elements and just return the element which is not present, right? Okay, which for example, sample input has been given here for 5 and 1 2 3 5. You can see if n is 5, then the scan elements are 4, and like 4 is not present from like 1 to 5. 4 is not present, right? 4 is absent. So I'll just print out to be uh, print out the 4. For example, here also you can verify it. So we'll move towards the solution. How you have to, I'll just scan the element and tell the approach. I'm doing it in Java. I'll share you the codes of all the languages. I'll choose Java 15. Okay. So what I have to do, I'll just take integer n, then I have to scan it, right? And I'll just scan it. Yeah, I just scan it, and I'll create array of integer n. Let's say num array, new integer of n minus 1, and I'll just scan it. Okay, and I is equal to 0 less than. Now if like n minus 1 elements are present in the array, I have to scan less than n. Okay, so for example, if 5 elements are present in the array, I have to create the array of 4 elements, and I have to scan it from 0 to 3. Okay, and then num of I is equal to sc. I'm coding it in Java. You can I am familiar actually with multiple coding languages, but I'll try to share with the codes of every languages with you in a document, so that you'll look upon just code. Okay, it's a matter of concept actually. The code is pretty similar to all the languages. Okay, so I've just scanned the n minus 1 elements over here, and what I have to do is like I have to find the element which is like not present, right? So I'll create a boolean array. You can have multiple approaches for this problem, but I'll share you what I'm doing. So I'll take the boolean array of n elements, basically starting from 1 to 5. Okay? I have to create it actually for like uh yes, I have to create for n plus 1 element, so that if 5 is included, I have to include 5, right? So I have to create array of 6 elements in total. Okay? So I'll create an boolean array of n plus 1, that is n plus 1, and I'll fill it with 0. Okay? Arrays dot fill. Oh Lord. Okay, so I've created a result array and I'll fill it with 0. Sorry, false. Okay, I have filled it with false, and what I have to do is, like, I have to traverse the array once again. I have to traverse the num array, so it might be less than n, and I have to add plus plus. And what I'll do, I'll just make sure that the number of I is marked as true. Again, this is a very brute force approach. You can apply your logic in it and try to optimize it. The time complexity of this is like we are traversing for like 3 loops, right? So the time complexity is basically big of one, big of n. So like, yeah, so whatever elements I've just got as true, I've marked is as true, and one of the element from this result array is marked as false, right? So I just print that element. uh, so if the result of I is exactly equal to false, then I have to print the ith element, right? Okay, so I think everything is good. I think yes, I just run it out. Okay, so there is a problem. uh, I think there is a problem, something to uh I just scan it here. Okay, I created a boolean array of n plus 1. I'll fill it with false. Okay, just one sec. So as you can see, the exception has been generated over here that array index 4 is out of bound. I think it might be here somewhere, right? Okay, so here while inserting, we are inserting till n elements. Okay, so like num of I is only for n minus 1, right? So to make it n minus 1, yes, and like we will just make it out. So like we are the like the result array is of uh, let's say n plus 1 elements. Okay, n plus 1 elements. For example, if 5 elements are there, my array is of actually 6 elements, so that the numbering is goes from 0 to 5, right? Okay, 0 to 5. So I have to store the number from 1 to 5. Okay, so I have to start my loop actually from 1. Okay, yeah, I have to start my loop from 1 to n plus 1, and then I'll check whether the result is false. I'll just print out the element. Just quickly run out the code. Yes, the sample test cases is running great. Just let's submit the code. So yes, this solution has been accepted. Okay, so yes, by analyzing the time complexity, where is the submission? Yeah, by analyzing the time complexity, like how, what is the time complexity, right? So we are taking an Boolean array to count the results, so the space complexity will be definitely big of n, and the time complexity is I'm iterating it iterating the loop thrice, right? So it might be big of 3n. Okay, so yeah, we'll move towards the next question actually. Okay, so we'll move towards the next question. Okay, so it is about k largest elements. So here it is a little bit tricky question we are given. So you are given with an array of positive integers k. Okay, no, you are given an array ARR of size n actually, and you are given an integer k, and your task is to identify k largest elements from the array and return in descending order. Okay, for example, I'll give you, if you're given with this element, let's say 34, okay, let's say 12, we have 34, then we have 2, 5 and 1. Okay, so these are the elements. So like what are the k, let's say k is equal to 2 for this. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to print descending order, what are the last two elements. Okay, if it goes in sorting, so what might be the last two elements, 12 and 34. 34 and 12 was expected output for this. Okay. So like we have not provided the test cases to make it little bit tricky, and the constraints you can see here, uh, k should be like, should k might be like equal to size, so we have to consider that case also. So we just try to code it up. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to take the n first. Yeah, I'll take k also here. I have to create an array of num, let's say. Yes, for before that I'll just create scanner object. Okay, and then I'll scan n, and then I'll scan the number, right? Then integer, the array, new int of n, right? Okay. So I'll scan it. So num of I is equal to sc dot next int. Okay, now I scan the array and I'll scan k now. Okay, now I've scanned the, so I've done with the input. What I have to do, it's simply like I have to find the k largest elements from the array in a descending order, right? I've given the intuition for you, like how you can solve this. Like basically, I'll just take the elements, basically sort it, and after sorting, I just print the descending. If I've sorted in the descending order, I just print the key element from the start. Okay. So as I've taken k as input, what I'll do, I'll just sort the array. Arrays dot sort. It's pretty simple to sort within using function. The time complexity of this function call is big of n, sorry, n log n. Uh, it's basically uses merge sort algorithm here. Okay, so I'll just sort it. Num is sorted, and I'll just, as like it is sorted in the ascending order, right? So I have to set k, right, for it. So I'll take a counter which is like n minus k, and I'll iterate from counter to n, right? So if you're not getting this, like just try to dry run out the code. Uh, it should be actually n at the start, and it should be greater than c. And I have to, because I have to go at the end and then I have to traverse, right? Okay, so it should be greater than n, and just simply print it out. What I have to print? I have to print the num of ith element, right? Okay. Okay. So let's see if this works well. I think I've done everything. Yeah, yes. Okay. Okay. So sample test cases have not been provided as told. Okay, we'll check for custom test cases. Okay. So like I'll take array of 12, 23 to 5. That's like 1. Okay. So I have to print the, let's say, 3 elements from the descending order. Okay. So I'll check it out. So the output for this should be like, okay, what is the error? No such exception. I think there is some sort of error due to, okay, so I have to give the size. Okay, so I'll give 5 size. I'll give my k as I have to give the number, right? So 34, 12, 5, 1, and then I'll go 15. And k is like 3. Okay, now check it. So the answer should be like, if 3 elements are there, 12, 15, and like 34. There has been created exception. Let me see. Okay, n minus 1. Okay, so okay, so 3 elements should be printed. I don't know why 2 elements are only printed. Okay, okay, so greater than equal to should be there, right? Because I have to consider that index as well. Okay, so like, yeah, so it is printing correctly, right? So 12 will be printed now, right now. See, 12, we'll just submit it and check if it goes correctly. Mm, yes, it runs correctly. Okay, so like, let's analyze the time complexity. Okay, okay, so okay, I'll just open in editor. Okay, so what is the time complexity, right? Okay, so I'm running like this function, let's say arrays.sort. So the time complexity of this is n log n. We go off. Okay, so this is the main function, like, which is getting more time to do it. So yes, the time complexity of this function, of this algorithm, is n log n, right? Can we optimize it? Okay, yes, we can optimize it. So if you can see, I don't have to sort all the elements. Don't sort all the elements. I have to just print all the k elements, right? The k elements from in a descending order. Descending order. So what can I do? So it can really optimize to big O of n log k, where n can be up to like 0 to or the n elements, and every time I just iterating, I just have to iterate it through k elements. Okay, so this can be done using priority queue, and the approach is pretty simple. You just use the priority queue, and you have to input it by smallest number as first, and yeah, you can build it using that approach. Okay, we'll see. Okay, so I'll take a priority queue. Let me think the code. I think, yeah, this might be the same code. Okay, so I'll use priority queue. Okay, and just I have to uh, insert only k elements. Okay, so what it does, priority queues, it inputs elements basically based on priority. So we'll set as like this function will set the queue to the priority queue, where it insert the minimum element to be the priority. You can also do it with like, if you wanted to do it with greatest number priority, you just have to give a flag over here like collection dot reverse order. Okay, and uh, you can basically try to reverse the priority. Okay, so yes, I have to insert the k elements, and if, okay, if element greater than that, okay, so while traversing the array, if element greater than that element is found, I have to consider that element. Okay, so if let's say we have 5 element on the top. Okay, so which is the smallest element, right? So I have to remove the 5 from that, and I have to insert a new element which is greater than 5. I have to check all the elements, in all the elements from the priority queue, which element is smaller, and that will be put at the front. So whether by removing the next priority queue, the next element from the priority queue, the you have to ensure that the smallest element is on the top, so that we got able to compare it. Okay. So like I have to traverse the array, right? Okay, so I'll just traverse the array, and is equal to 0 less than n, and just type plus plus. Okay. Okay, what I have to do, till my priority queue does not reaches to k, I just have to insert blindly. Okay, so if q dot size is less than k, what I have to do, I have to blindly push it into offer. I think offer it into q, right? Q dot offer num of I. Yes, and if it reaches to, like, to the size where we don't want more element than k into my queue, I have to like check if like q dot peak, the peak element of q is like greater than, uh is like less than my num of I. So in this case, what I have to do, I just have to pop the element q dot pop the element, and have to insert the new element into the queue, right? Offer num of I. Okay, so this will ensure that my queue consists of 6 elements, or let's say k elements, sorry, k elements, which are most greatest elements among that element from the array, right? Okay, this will ensure that queue has my elements. Okay, so now how they are sorted, right? So they are in the ascending order, like 5 4, like 5 12 24 36, or whatever, in which order you have placed them. So now what I want, I have to print it in the descending order. So I'll just take the array, let's say integer array, of, let's say, answer, which consists of k elements. Okay, and then I'll put my uh, counter basically to k. uh, okay, so I put my counter to k is equal to k minus 1. Okay, then what I'll do, k should be strictly greater than equal to 0, and k plus plus, k minus minus, sorry. And I'll just, so as I wanted the result to be printed in descending order, I'm just inserting the q element from the end to the beginning. Okay. Okay, so like num of I, num of, oh, num of I, actually I should be greater than 0, and I minus minus. Okay, so num of I, num of, oh sorry, result of I, result of I is equal to q dot pop. Okay. Okay, so it will ensure that my k elements are placed uh, in the queue. Okay, and I just have to print the result array now. Okay, so now input, the output is saying that you have to print it separated by spaces. So I'll not use print ln, I'll simply use printf, or print, uh, so it will be like answer of I. Okay, and I have to give a space as well. Yes. So this will ensure our code is running great. Okay, let's see if it generates an error or not. Okay, so there is an error. So it is showing that q dot pop is not the, mm, just one sec. So here, like, pop is not the function for call for queue. Actually it's actually pool. I'm just mistakenly written it pool. Okay, okay, I think, yeah. Okay. And then everything error. Okay, 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 same error for everything. Let me see if it runs well. And yes, cannot find symbol result. Okay, so I have to declare result. Okay, answer. Okay, it has been compiled. Let's check for the test cases. So I have 5 elements, let's say 34, 45, 2, 4, 15, and the elements are 3. So it will possibly run, the output might be 15, 23, and 45. Let's see what happens. So it is generating infinite loop, I think. Yeah. So to do I plus plus here. Yes, 45, 23, and 15 has been generated correctly. Let's submit out this code and check if it works properly. Mm, yes, it does accepts all the test cases. So this was about all the contest. Uh, if you are not familiar with the contest, try give on practice. Try to analyze complexity and optimize your code. And this was about it. I hope you have got learning from this contest. You'll get opportunity. Will be giving all the in the contest in the upcoming events. So have a nice day.